The Western New York real estate market is filled with options, and we like to be as resourceful as possible to give our partners the best advice. Sometimes the little things can make a difference. For example, educating our sellers on the current design trends to make their home more attractive so they can maximize their home's value. Sometimes it's seeing the potential in a fixer-upper. Today, we are speaking with my local resource for design, Lauren Schulte of Monarch Kitchen here in North Tonawanda. Well, Lauren, glad to be here with you this morning.
Thank you.
So, tell me, what are you seeing as far as some of the latest design trends?
We're seeing bright, light, and organic looking kitchens. We have lots of white cabinets with a different color base on the bottom. We're seeing twists on the classics, like backsplashes. You're seeing a different type of subway tile. You're seeing them with color versus everything being white. We're starting to get very colorful. We're starting to see gold make a comeback. It's replacing all the brushed nickel. It's replacing chromes and even some of the black. We're incorporating a lot of wallpaper. You can see in the back of this cabinet, just to have a little bit of pop of color. We add lots of bold pieces throughout the kitchens. You're seeing the return of plants. You're seeing the return of bright colors. Quartz is huge. We sell more quartz than we sell granite because it's 100% maintenance free. You can spill red wine on your countertop for a month and you can come back and wipe it off and it will not have stained. We can incorporate different colors in them. For example, this particular countertop has navy in it, which matches the color of the base cabinets. We also are doing something that is called a refresh. So what we're doing is if you want to dress up your kitchen enough to sell it, but don't want to replace your whole kitchen, what we're doing is we're doing a lot of painting. So we'll come in, we can paint your cabinets, we can replace your countertop and replace your backsplash, and it's just enough of an updated look. All of that makes it so that it looks beautiful without doing a ton of work.
And you had mentioned wallpaper.
Yes.
So that seems to be making its way back into the real estate market. So why don't you tell me a little bit about that? What is the stimulus behind that?
So with wallpaper, it allows you to add pops of color without having to be too bold. A lot of them are peel and stick. There's a little bit of an art to hanging wallpaper, and a lot of them are very easy to do on your own now, so you don't have to hire somebody to do it. But it makes it so that you can have one beautiful accent wall without being committed to doing. In the 1980s, they would do all 4 walls. Now you can only do 1 wall, and it makes it so that the space feels updated, trendy. You can add metallics, you can add some grass, you can make it earthy and organic.
And you mentioned colors and textures.
Yes.
So what seem to be some of the more popular colors and some of the textures that people are gravitating to today?
So we're actually using a lot of grasses in wallpapers. Anything that you can touch and you could feel. They have a Scandinavian feel to them, almost like a boho-y vibe. So if you don't want to commit to doing it through your cabinets or those types of things, you add it through materials that you can replace if you get tired of them down the road. We're starting to shy away from the all white kitchens. So we're not doing so much white on white on white anymore, where you do white cabinets, white countertop, white backsplash. You're starting to have jewel tones. For example, this is called Maritime, so this is the navy color. We're also doing this beautiful, beautiful shade of green that's like a very emerald green, just incorporating it through the decor.
As I take a look at this kitchen over here, I love the color schemes that you have over here. This is a navy blue.
Yes.
And then you've got like a flamingo pink background.
Yep.
So kind of gives it a little bit of an accent and gives it some character.
It does, and if you look inside the cabinet with the wallpaper, we have the flamingo pink gets pulled into the interior of the cabinet as well.
What would you say are some of the classic trends that have been popular over the years that you may be seeing maybe a slight comeback?
One of the most popular cabinet door styles that I have sold for the last decade that doesn't seem to be going anywhere is the shaker door style. But what we are seeing is, to give it a more updated look, is we're seeing it with a little bit of an inversion on the inside panel. So versus being completely flat, you might see that has a little roll of a lip. And it's just enough so that it changes the look of the door without being too traditional in the shaker style.
Is this an example of it?
That is an example of it.
Can I open it up?
Absolutely. In this one, we just added a little bit of glass because sometimes people want to be able to display their teacups or their glass or their wine glasses, their wedding stuff. We're also starting to see the return of raised center panels, which is fantastic because I haven't seen raised center panels in a very long time. And how we're incorporating that is through the island. So when a lot of people are doing islands, they don't want it to do the same door style as the perimeter. So we're adding the raised door panel on the island and it gives it a really nice look. We're doing lots of 3-tone kitchens as well. So for example, in this kitchen, we have the white doors, the navy bases, and then that's a cherry stain behind you on the floating shelves. So we're incorporating lots of colors versus everything, like I had said before, everything being all white on white.
Do you have any tricks to maximize spaces?
Yes. So one of the things that I'm actually very good at is working in small kitchens. And it's very much like New York City. If you can't expand this way, you have to go up. So a lot of times we'll remove soffits and we'll take cabinets all the way to the ceiling. The crown will touch the ceiling, not the cabinet itself. But it makes it so that you can store the things that you may not use all the time at the very top level. You'll absolutely need maybe a little bit of a stool or something like that to be able to reach the top. But we also can add inserts. So for example, everybody loves a spice cabinet, people love roll-out trays, they love to add interior things that make it so that your storage is much easier and accessible.
Let's take it through a consultation. You get a client, brand new client that comes to your studio. They really don't know what to do. Kind of take us through ideas, how to make spaces better.
Absolutely. So let's say you just purchased your house and you're ready to redo the kitchen. What I do is I come in and I'll take the dimensions of the room and ask you what you would like to see in your space. Most people want to add interior rollout trays and things that make their kitchen more functional, better for storage. And so what I'll do is I'll take all the dimensions of the room and ask you, do you want to remove walls? Because that's the most popular trend that people do is they want the open concept kitchen. They want to be able to see their family while they're also cooking dinner. So I'll design everything out and I'll consult with one of my construction guys and say, is it possible to remove this wall? And then I go back into my studio, lay out your kitchen, and we'll do a little bit of a back and forth to get you the perfect layout. Then you come into the studio, take a look at the colors, your door styles, we'll marry everything together and make it so that it's a perfect combination for your space.
That's awesome. And how often do you get people that come in here that really know what they want, or do you find that they don't really know what they want? They really need like your guidance and your input on every step of the process.
Most people know what they want, but they need direction. Because a lot of times they're watching something on HGTV and it's in a big massive house and their kitchen is a 15 by 15. So what we have to do is we have to take elements from that kitchen and make it so that we can incorporate some of that and try to make it so that it looks as close as possible to what they had envisioned versus what can actually be done in the space.
Tell us, what do you think are some of the challenges that people are actually facing today that are important for them to know about?
Well, the supply chains have been an issue as of lately. Cabinets used to take about 4 to 6 weeks to come in, but some of them are taking as long as up to 6 months. So when you have your dream kitchen and you know what you want, just have a little bit of patience because things are taking much longer now to come in, including your appliances, than we had originally anticipated or anything that I've ever seen in my 15 years of doing design work.
Well, if it's a dream kitchen, then I'm sure somebody's willing to wait for it.
It's worth the wait.
Absolutely. Well, Lauren, this has been enlightening, and I'm so thrilled to have spent some time here with you this morning. So, Lauren, if somebody needs to get a hold of you, how do they reach you to receive some awesome consultation advice from you?
Well, you can give me a call, and you can also email me at monarchkitchendesignstudio@gmail.com, and you can also find me on Instagram at Monarch Design Studio, as well as Facebook under Monarch Kitchen Design Studio.